Hello everyone, this is Demon Phoenix back with another installment of my low-level New Game Plus Deathmatch Piercing Cold walkthrough. Mouthful as always, but basically this is the playthrough where we're using Aard and Piercing Cold. And we started New Game Plus at a lower level than normal so that we can kill everything pretty easily, including those geese. Strange. Anyway, we've just completed a few of the different quests and we've got a few other things to do. We're just going to be carrying on with that. So, a few different things that we want to be doing now. I'm just going to do following the thread, which will not only let me complete an interesting little quest, but will also allow me to be able to play Lambert for his Gwent card, so we're just going to do that. Just finished playing Tala and got the Geralt card, so now my Nilfgaard deck is pretty much fully completed. Not that we've lost a single game anyway, apart from Joanna before we even had the full deck, so... we're just going to be using Piercing Cold, and this is how we're doing it. We've got the ability to double cast signs, and then we've got Piercing Cold like that, so that we can knock things down, finish them off quickly. And because we're at a lower level, it's still effective in terms of being able to do damage and get more casts for the instant death, because we're using the Grandmaster Griffin gear as well. So this build mainly focuses around Piercing Cold, like we said. It does have one or two of the attack skills, like Rend, as I just demonstrated there. But yeah, overall extremely powerful and very useful build. Lots of fun, been enjoying this one an absolute ton. So, let me have a look. Okay. Right. Let me see. So we're just going to carry on with this one. And let's go and do following the thread. Just realised that there is a level 2 quest here that I haven't done, which is also going to give me the opportunity to play Gwent, so might as well do that as well. Where's this guy? I'll just do this quickly, why not? Very important matter, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's just do this. Alright. So we're just going to speak to this guy first. I mean, this is a really low level quest. You can do this at any time, but I've just remembered that literally the end of it... Oh, you're hovering again, Roach. What the hell? That was me mounting Roach, so obviously that's not happened. Anyway, the... Let's try and get her to follow. Nope, she's not having it. Right, anyway. How bizarre. What have I lost health from, I wonder? Lost health there for no reason. Anyway, yeah, we just got to find this bit. Just remembered that at the end of this you can choose to play Gwent if you want, so always fun for another Gwent game, even though you don't actually win anything. We'll start off with the Gwent. Why not? What a numpty. Anyway, so we're just going to follow this round. Play this guy. Alright. Right. Play for them. Woo! Right, so, if you've watched any of the earlier episodes, you already know what's going on. I did a lot of the quests early so that I could get the Relentless Leader card, which is probably the best leader ability in the game. It's pretty amazing. And on top of that, I already did things to... did high stakes really early, so I could get the Mysterious Elf quest. I did the Gremist quest early, so I could get Mysterious Elf, and did high stakes early for Relentless. So I've had a ton of fun with this, and now this is pretty much my full 30 card deck, which is a good number for the Nilfgaard deck. Because it gives you a decent chance of getting your spies like that, or indeed more of your spies, while still giving you some good unit cards and everything else to use. So yeah, really good there. So this person's using Nilfgaard as well. So I'll just keep one of the decoys and just use these first. Don't think this guy has the actual best, the best deck really, if I recall, but we'll see. Nilfgaard deck is my favourite deck just because it's so good for using the spies and all the tactics you can use and everything else. Now the reason I have a 1 Biting Frost in my deck is so that I can use Biting Frost even if it's not a opposing deck that has very high melee damage itself, because then I can use that to reduce the score of my own melee cards and make it easier to win that round. So there, I used a bunch of score. They had a bunch of melee cards. They had a reasonable amount of score from the spy cards that I'd used on them instead. And then after that, I was able to use that Biting Frost. And that being the case, I reduced their score and was able to win with 1 card. And now I'll be able to take this one back again, because they will undoubtedly play the Spy, because that's what they always do. And then play this again. Now, what I could do here is I could play the Spy and then play Villain Tretameth, which will get rid of that 7 score. But if I play Villain Tretameth now, it's going to get rid of the 2 4 scores, so I'll do that first. Okay, so I'm going to play the Spy, and then I'll either win this round outright, or I'll just make them waste all their cards and then use it in the last round. Whoops, didn't need to do that. Oh well, never mind. Meant to play that on the other row, but never mind. Let's play these. Got plenty of medics, so if I needed to, I could play all 4 of these back anyway. It seems pretty unlikely that they are going to... Well, they're not going to be able to win unless they play a medic, and yeah, so easy win there. Should have played the Commander's Horn on the ranged row instead, but I knew I was going to win this one extremely easily anyway, so not really an issue. So yeah, would have scored 94 there, nice and easy. And of course, if you want to, you can always decoy back Villain Tretameth, and then take more score away from them that way as well. But that's just mean. Might as well just play these 2 now. So, another fun one. We managed to get this back. Alright, now where's Roach gone? There she is. Okie dokie, off we go. Right, so another fun Gwent win in the books. I'll complete this and then go back to following the thread. Following the thread's a good little case, good little thing actually. Now, just a quick thing about following the thread. I have actually been to Skellige already. If you go to Skellige before you start following the thread, which is a level 11 quest. Now, normally you'd only go to Skellige at a higher level, like level 16, but I always go to Skellige early because I always want to get the places of power. And there are a couple of the good things you can get, like the echidna mutagen for the echidna decoction, which is incredible early in the game. So that can be really good as well. Right, now this guy wants to fight me, but that's very silly of him, seeing as how I can double cast signs for a start, and then smack him like that for a second. Haha. You can see that they're just doing damage with the piercing cold. Not really a very fair sword fight, but then again, he was pretty stupid to try and challenge me anyway, wasn't he? Ha! What an idiot. Anyway. Right, so easy 50 EXP there. What was I saying? Yeah, you can go to Novigrad early, and you can go to Skellige early, and so if there's a quest called Flesh for Sale, and you can't do that quest unless you have been to one of the villages in Skellige on the southeastmost island. Where am I going? You can't do that quest unless you've been there before you do following the thread. So in the normal course of the game, you'll never do Flesh for Sale unless... What the hell is this marker map doing? Unless you... you'd never actually do the quest Flesh for Sale unless you... Can you kill these things? No. Unless you actually went to Skellige first deliberately. So, to cut a long story short, if you want to do Flesh for Sale as a quest, you have to have gone to Skellige and done it first before you start following the thread. So if you start following the thread to the point where you will be going to that area... Where the hell's Lambert? That island on Skellige, you'll not be able to actually... What's the word? Ooh, fist fight. Not fighting those, I hate those. Yeah, you'll not be able to do Flesh for Sale if you do following the thread first, basically. It's an interesting little quest, and it also lets you get into a place that you would otherwise not be able to get into. Can't Aard pigs, you have the Igni pigs. Right. So this is following the thread. We will talk to the guard, follow some tracks, end up over there in that place where we will find mystery person who is hunting this vampire.
Oh yeah?
Alright. Let's go. Do. Right, let's find out who's done this for a start. Yeah. Alright. That's that. Okay, so just while I'm doing this, and I'll find out it's an Ekimara. Spoilers, sorry. This particular playthrough is focused around Piercing Cold. Now, Piercing Cold's a lot of fun because it can adds a freezing effect to Aard, which is very effective. But also it has the instant kill chance, and it can do direct damage, depending on your sign intensity and the enemy's sign resistance. Now, the thing about it is, if you were to look at the damage it's supposed to be doing 5,600 and so damage, but with each sign intensity increase, it would increase the amount of damage that it's supposed to do, as you can see there. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Let's put that back. Don't really use active shield in this playthrough. Anyway, what that means is that it can deal direct damage, but it is still dependent on the enemy sign resistance. So there where it's saying I'm supposed to be dealing 5,000 and something damage, it actually only is dealing about 600 or 700 a hit on most enemies at the minute. Now, considering you can double craft it with the Griffin, master crafted Griffin gear, as I'm doing here, that's still a quick 1,400 damage, and that means that it's really good just for the instant kill chance, which is 25%. So not only does it do damage, but it can also knock a lot of enemies over, like humans and drowners and things. Now the problem is that when you're at high levels, the sign resistance for Aard, for enemies to Aard gets so high that Aard stops knocking enemies over, and that's roughly level 60 or 65ish. And so then Piercing Cold becomes a lot less worth it, because the damage becomes negligible, because the direct damage is reduced so much by the enemy's sign resistance, and then because they can't be knocked over, you don't have the chance to instantly kill them either, so it becomes a lot less effective that way. But I've started this New Game Plus playthrough at only level 31, so that being the case, this is a playthrough where Piercing Cold is going to remain a lot more effective for longer, and that's why this has been a really fun playthrough so far. So, I already know who's over here, but just in case, let's get the potions up, because I know what's going to be happening here. Oh no, it's a vampire! So, first things first, I'm going to get my Erden trap down, and then Quint. And I'm dealing a ton of damage there. And then I can do things like hit this with fire damage. And also, I'll be able to use magic trap. Because you see that if you can use Axie to stun and get a hit in, but if you're actually using Aard, it's doing a little bit of damage, but not a lot. And then we've got the direct damage from that as well. But much better to be able to hit it with Igni, which is much more effective in these kind of situations versus most enemies. So kill this thing, goes down super easy, and then grab the mutagen and everything else. And we can speak to Lambert. Hi, Lambert. Right, so got to do this stuff. Alright. We'll just go there for now. I don't think you can play him immediately, if I remember. So we'll just kill these guys first. Obviously I'm skipping the cutscenes and everything. Not having mentioned that to this point, but I'm sure you've figured it out by now. This is just a gameplay playthrough. Don't really want to be sitting through all the cutscenes and everything myself, to be honest. Yeah. Uh-oh. Instant kill. Now this is why we're playing this playthrough as a Piercing Cold one, because you can knock them down, and you can see that it does the direct damage there as well when you double cast it, and we've also got the chance to do instant kills with it. So I can use either use Aard sweep like that, or I can just use regular Aard and cast it twice like that. So just so many things you can do with Piercing Cold when you've got this set up. So I have the 6 pieces of the Mastercrafted Griffin set, which I made specifically with the intention of switching to them at level 40. So I'm going to use those for the vast majority of this set, just because the set bonuses are just too good to pass up, really. So yeah, really good. Don't know why we split up now. Why are we splitting up now? Now I have to go back to the 7 Cats Inn. I feel like I've spent most of the last hour at the 7 Cats Inn, really. Anyway, grab all this stuff. Where's the way out? This way. Don't really need this stuff, to be honest. Alright. Now, 7 Cats Inn isn't that far away, actually, so I'll just grab Roach and then travel there. Alright. Now, I'm avoiding certain side quests in this one. Like, I've decided that I can't be bothered doing Cabaret. I really can't. You don't get anything better. It's one of my least favourite quests, the whole dandelion thing. So, unfortunately, in this particular playthrough, Priscilla's mystery will go unsolved. But this isn't my canon playthrough or anything like that. I've done that already. This is, like I say, just a gameplay one. So let's go with this. I think I played this woman already. I played her last time, I think. Alright. Now, oh yeah, I've got to meet Lambert outside first. Gosh darn it. Keep it short. I'm only going to skip it all anyway. Anyway, got all this stuff. I love how desensitized Lambert is. He's like the much more extreme version of the coin, so yeah. Than Geralt is. All of his emotions really have been stripped pretty to the core. Although you do have some moments with him in Care Morin which are quite interesting. Anyway. Arseholes. Anyway. Gotta do all this stuff.
No, let's not.
Right, so we're going to do this first. Right, now. Is there anything left that I particularly want to do? So I'm skipping a lot of the side quests at the minute. Not really my favourite thing to redo on, you know. I don't really need to redo those on subsequent playthroughs. Let's have a look. Blacksmith tools, Cabaret, not doing that. Fists of Fury, not doing that. Blah 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 blah. Most of them just the Skellige stuff that's left, and I'll come back to doing these later. Some of the higher level contracts can be quite fun, so they have good monsters to fight. So I'll do those when I come back at slightly higher level. I've got a few contracts that I want to do. Yeah, so a few of these are really good, and I'll do those a little bit later as well. Still not collected on contract Devil by the Well yet. And the rest of it, not too fussed about, so yeah. Let's have a look. So I could go with these quests. I think I'll just stick with following the thread for now, just finish that bit first, and I'll head to Skellige and do some of those quests. So we need to be all the way down here. Now first things first, Harviken is where you do the Flesh for Sale quest. Can't remember if I did it in this playthrough actually. I did it on my no armor one if I recall. We shall see. But I've just put that marker on there because the place of power is on this island as well.
A good time later, the wild hunt had reappeared on Hindersfjall, meaning Ciri too might have returned to Skellige.
Yeah. Right. Do. Let's go. I love this piercing cold build. It's so much fun, and I've really enjoyed doing it. This playthrough has been pretty much everything I wanted so far in it. Starting at a lower level, piercing cold remaining really effective the whole way through. Just tons of fun. Really, really good fun. I think because when I get to the sort of level of the DLCs, the piercing cold might become a little less effective. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do the DLCs. I didn't actually do them in my no armor playthrough, but I was maybe planning to go back to that later. I think what's more likely is I really want to do my Viper hybrid playthrough, and I have some ideas of what I'm going to do for that. I really want to do a playthrough with that build because I've never done a full playthrough with it. It's very similar to my Uber build, which is what I consider the best build in the game. Perfectly balanced, incredibly powerful, and awesomely tanky as well. And like I say, I consider that to be the actual best build in the game. And I actually think that, as well as my bias of it being my build, it is objectively the best build in the game. That is the thing that I would say is the best thing I've done on Witcher. But yeah, but I want to use the Viper hybrid version of it. Really looking forward to that. So gonna probably go on to that playthrough after doing the main quests on this one. Now, which way am I going up here? Do we get around the other side? Can we get up this way? I can't remember. Goats weirdly immune to Aard sweep. So if you think about it, it's very odd, but yeah. Might as well grab this whilst I'm on this island. I'm just going to check that these sounds coming through because I hate having done like a good chunk of an episode and then only realise afterwards. Let's have a look. Right. Now I just want to do this thing because I swear you can pray to this statue. Oh. Pray for clear skies. Pray. And it changes the weather, which is like so cool. Ah. There are just... Why is this in the game? You know what I mean? Like, there are so many touches. Like, you can pray for rain and stuff like that, I think, as well, if I remember. Which is a bit weird, because when you do Grimace Quest, you have to make sacrifices to call the rain with him. But, like, there you can pray for clear skies. But, yeah, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know, like, the amount of detail and extra stuff in the game. It's just crazy. Oh, dear. And then I jumped off the edge. Anyway, just ignore that. I thought I'd be able to roll there, but obviously not. Anyway, crazy amount of stuff in the game. Crazy amount of stuff. So yeah, after I've done this one, probably going to be doing a Viper hybrid build playthrough. And I have some ideas of what I want to do with that. So we'll see. We'll see. Should be good. Alrighty. Alrighty. See as I unceremoniously flung myself off that cliff. Whoops. Just going it's quite funny, pretty much the only thing that can kill you with an awesome build in Witcher is falling damage and forgetting to roll or jumping off a big cliff like that one. What a dumbass. Never mind. Do. Right. Anyway, let's just go and grab this again, and this time I'll just do it a little bit better without jumping off a cliff or whatever else. I don't really need the skill points, to be honest, but I can't just leave it when it's right there to grab a place of power, you know. In fact, to make it a bit more interesting, I'll go and kill whatever these things are first. Are they wolves? Yeah, wolves. Now, These things can be extremely tiresome, but not if you have piercing cold. Just hit them from up far-reaching Aard skill. And you can see that even if they don't get instantly killed, they get knocked down. So they're just not a threat any longer. And you can hit them from massive distance. It's basically like having projectile attacks, which is why piercing cold is so cool. You can just absolutely destroy them. Crazily good. These are actually a pretty good source of income as well if you're playing them normally. Like normally, you know, a pack of wolves on deathmatch can be quite tricky, but here they're extremely easy, and I can just grab all the white wolf hides from them. Can make you an actual pretty decent amount of money. I can hear an aracas as well, but I can't see it. Where's that? Can never pick up hides for some reason from rabbits. Is that an aracas? I can hear it. Oh, and Dragers. There is an aracas around here somewhere. I know there is. Easy. Hidden in the depths. You know what? I can't be bothered with that right now. Anyway, I'm just going to go and grab this thing first. I was going to say they're more wolves, but they're not wolves. They are Endriggers. Right, so just use one more white honey. Then after this I'll just meditate. I'm all out with those potions and everything. Ooh, Endriggers. As you can see, you take so little damage from the extra resistance that I have from being stood in the Aard trap and having protective coating, that those things only took off like, well, a very, very small portion of my health. I can use everything else on them. Got fire stream there as well. It's not a build that's really designed for doing a ton of damage. Oh dear. Otherwise, but Ignean signs and everything else extremely effective against the stuff, even if Aard doesn't do a ton of damage. And Aard will do a small amount of damage to them anyway, so absolutely lethal in every respect. Do love that kind of stuff. Grab some more mutagens that way as well. This has been a much more interesting trip to the place of power this time. Still good fun. You know, it's a good kind of build when you seek out combat. Alright. What's that going to be? I can hear it, but I can't see it. Let's keep my toxicity topped up. It's probably a giant. There's a giant or a cyclops or something somewhere on this island. Where is that? No idea. Anyway. Just going to make my way across the island. Now, with that being like a fair distance to actually travel, just going to meditate, get my potions back, and then I'll just use those before we go into combat. And on we go. Where am I going? Find Hammond. Up on this way. Seems like a very long way around for me to go, so I'll just go this way instead. Make sure I don't die jumping off a cliff again. Oh, are there people to play in Gwent? I think there are. check that out. What do I need? Gwent. Always Gwent. I didn't have anything really. I can sell things, I suppose. Not really that fussed about how much money I get for these. I'll just clear out some of the heavier items because I've already got a ton of money anyway from selling things in Tucson. It's more about just clearing the weight out of my inventory more than anything else.
Have a look at
Nope, don't need that. Press the wrong thing. Gwent. Gwent is what we need. Alright. Alright, so let's see what we get. Oh, I always seem to not get spies versus Scoia'tael and the other decks, which is irritating. Got one right at the end. I only need one. That is what is so phenomenally powerful about the relentless ability. Like, I only need one spy. And if you just get one spy, then, you know, you're normally good to go. So I'll play these first. I do have a decoy and a medic there. So even though they have the leading cards right now, it won't hold. Just gonna scorch that. Depending on if I get another decoy or not, depends on what I'm going to do here. So now that's fantastic because that is actually like the perfect play for me because I can scorch that one. Then take it again when they decoy it back. Actually just play my own dandelion first. See if I can win this round first of all. They take the medic again. So if I play that, that's going to be 18, which will give them 38. If I play that, that's going to give them 18, which will give them 38, and then that will give me the win with one more card. So I'm just going to do that, and the reason for that is that... Oh, never mind. I was going to say I could play the Geralt card instead. What I can actually do is just reduce these down. Well, I could do it either way, really. I'm just going to save my... decoy, so I'm just going to use that first. Get that lead there. And then win anyway, so. Now the reason I wanted to do it that way is because then I can take one of the spies back using Relentless. And then use it again. So now I'll have a pretty substantial lead in cards. Even more so when I get this. Now this is going to cause some pretty major problems for them because a lot of their score is coming from the much higher realms there. So right, so I'm just going to pass this round, win that one anyway. And then I'm going to play the spy back again. And then we're going to absolutely blitz them with everything else. See, because I have the one medic, I can bring back the other young emissary, and because I have the commander's horn, I don't have to use a medic on dandelion, so I'll be able to play both the young emissaries and all four of the imperial brigades, which is where you get massive scores with the Nilfgaard deck, and so this is how you use it properly if that's how you want to go. So they can scorch that 10 there, but that's not the one we're really bothered about. So they score a fairly respectable 52, which would be fine if I didn't have these to play. Which, as you can see, is going to rack up some fairly immense scores. And for those of you scoring at home, if I didn't already have the score 187 achievement, I would have got it there. So you can see there have been an absolute ton of rounds in this actual playthrough where I've scored pretty huge scores, so quite fun to do. Now this guy, I'm pretty sure this is the guy who spawns at really weird times, like he's only here at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, so he actually does have some cards that you can only get from him, so definitely worth checking out. If you're missing some monster deck cards or cards from people of no renown, it's a good bet that it's this guy. I think it's him. It's definitely one of them. Anyway, got a good mix of cards there again. Would I rather have a medic than Commander Horn? Yeah, probably. I'd definitely rather have 1 spy than 2 of those. That is absolutely perfect. Now, I'm just going to do that and then win that round. And whichever of those spies doesn't stay on this field, I'll actually just take it with Relentless. And I've already got my Biting Frost as well, which is a really good idea to keep that Biting Frost. Just 1 Biting Frost at least in the deck, in case you're fighting monsters, or in case with this Nilfgaard deck you want to take down your own score. But it really won't be necessary here from the look of things. Seems like a pretty weak deck. So here I've actually got 5 medics available. So even though I don't need to play these cards, I'll be able to play at least 5 cards already. Because I'll be able to use one of these with a decoy. In fact, I'll probably just win this outright, because they put weather on all of them, but I can double these up, so probably not a good look for them. He has a really weak deck, actually. Yes, he's going to lose anyway. Wow, that's a terrible deck. See, the dumbest thing is they have the leader card to play any weather card, so if they have a clear weather, they should have played it just to even have a chance at winning that one. They probably would have lost anyway, but can't be bothered doing the math, but yeah, never mind. Anyway. Played that guy already, didn't I? Don't think there's anyone else here to play, from what I remember. We'll go and give Hammond a good kick in. Harpies could try and take those out. That was easy. Probably do with steering clear of those, but never mind. What's here? Alright, a few bits and bats. Might as well grab them as not. Absolutely love Skellige. Love its scenery, love the music. And you fight an interesting range of enemies as well. Like there's a Cyclops somewhere around here. Yep. Let's just tank up on potions again. No point me wasting a superior blizzard on this thing. because it's just a solo enemy, and Blizzard is like killing spree. It only works against other enemies. So okay, so apparently not doing a lot of damage to him, but this is where fire damage comes in. And this is why Igni is such a fantastic sign, because fire damage just does an absolute metric ton of damage even on deathmatch, because it's largely based on HP, and then, you know, the damage is scaled up by your sign intensity. So with this build, Igni doing a ton of damage as well as piercing cold. Burning is just so overpowered even on deathmatch, it's extremely strong. So yeah, not bad at all. Right, where are we going? Where the heck is this thing taking me? Alright.
What do you want? I'm looking. What for? Business. Keep pre.
Uh-oh. Anyway, I was just looking for a fight with these guys, because let's be honest, I don't really care about it. So, take magic trap to take out these, which is super fun. Good advantage of having magic trap, and then as you can see, got the chance to instant kill things again. Piercing cold absolutely wrecks things. It is so much fun. And considering that's supposed to be a 25% chance, we're pretty much rocking the hell out of this one. Just get magic trap up again. Set Quen first, and then magic trap will take care of the archers and their projectiles. See, it just took out another one there. We hit him from there? No. So you get a ton of versatility from, you know, doing this kind of playstyle as well. Another one bites the dust. Those poor, poor people. This is why you don't pick a fight with a Witcher, especially not one wandering around with Grandmaster Griffin gear. You should really be able to tell that it's a little bit beyond you if you're dealing that kind of stuff. Like, if you saw him do that to like 20 of your mates, would you be taking him on? Would you be shooting arrows at him? Really? No. Come on. Sometimes people should know when they're conquered. Would you, Claudius? Would I? Shout outs to Gladiator, amazing film. Not watched that for a long time actually. Anyway, so just going to loot all this stuff. Always a good idea to loot things, especially in New Game Plus. All of the bog standard swords and all that stuff does an absolute ton. So just might as well grab all this stuff, because like I say, it'll sell for a lot later on. So if you come here before you have started following the thread, then you can rescue the slaves from this camp. You can liberate them, and it's a quest called Flesh for Sale, as I was saying earlier. That's an interesting thing. And like I say, it's like, that's like, so this cage is filled with slaves, and you can save them. That's an entire mission that just doesn't exist unless you do a certain thing in a certain order that you would never really do. But the game world of this game is just insane. I get stuffed. I'm sorry, were you finished? Allow me to retort. Instantly kills with piercing cold. Absolutely ridiculous. So after we made mincemeat of about 25 guys in less than 5 minutes there, we can carry on. Usually a few Indragers knocking about these ways as well. This is probably them. Because delayed recovery is worn off, I'll just do the same as always, a white honey. And that was, I just remembered that I've forgotten to even use piercing cold then, so not piercing cold, superior blizzard. So again, you can see we do a little bit of damage to these things. They are susceptible to the instant kill effect still. And it's just ridiculously powerful. You're going to jump at me? You don't think so? Wow. Seems even more effective than usual. The instant kill is just triggering all the time, so fantastic skill. Just really love it. So glad I did this playthrough. It's really good to be able to, you know, experiment with builds and, you know, use things that you know are effective. Like when I had the sort of thought like, oh, you could do this at a low level. I was really excited about it because I knew that it would be something really fun to do. So I'll come back and kill that Arakas in just a minute. Take out Hammond first. Alright. I'll just put Erden down first. And then I can get regular Erden and all that done. Talk up on a little bit of toxicity again. So with some people you won't be able to knock them down, so they're not susceptible to the instant kill, but even so you can still do a good chunk of damage to them with the piercing cold. But more effective against these types is to use Igni. And you can see there that the burning damage is just so high. And then you get the other effects kicking in as well. And Fire Stream also extremely effective against shield guys, get them burning and dealing good damage there as well. Normally Fire Stream is quite niche, like it's really good against shield enemies, it's good against elementals relative to regular Igni. It does more direct damage to them, whereas they're not susceptible to burning, so you can do a bit of damage, especially if you have a Conductor's a magic build. That's the main way that, only real way that a Signs build can deal decent damage to them, but it's an option. Just going to grab all this stuff and then I'm just going to use potions once again. And then jump down and kill this Arakas because why not? Where is this thing? There it is. Let's handle this thing just the same way. Oh, level 57. This will be a high level. And he's poisoned me as well. How rude. See what piercing cold does to it. Probably not a lot. No, not a lot. Igni? Ah, yes. Igni will. Oh, a bandit there as well. Don't know what he thinks he's doing. I'll kill him first. Get rid of him. Stop being annoying. Can you not see this thing? Oh dear. Just use the nice little side effect from... I'm taking on this thing and you're thinking that you're going to come and cause me problems. I don't think so. Right, so, like I say, Piercing Cold not really much good for these, although it does have the advantage of me being able to use Superior Blizzard to kill the human, and then take out the Arakas a little easier, which is fun. Fire Stream that. Between the burning and the direct damage, that'll do a good chunk. And Magic Trap, obviously, sort of keeping it in check as well. So much fun! Destroyed. Right, so now we've just got to find our way back to Lambert. Finish that off. No idea what those guys were doing there. Never mind. That's everything killed, all ends up. Now I could go straight back and get the Triss card. I might do that now. Might leave it till a little later. Yeah, in fact, there's not much point in me really getting the Triss card yet. I mean, I'm in position now where I can do it whenever I want. But instead, I'll just make my way to Hindisfjall, I think. And then carry on with that quest that way. Well, that 20 minutes or so is about as good a demonstration as you could ask for of how Piercing Cold works anyway. Stock back up on potions there. Alrighty. There's actually some places of power that I still have yet to grab. Most of the ones in Skellige. Normally when I come to Skellige early, I'll go and do all of that straight away. I'm just going to go to Aard Beyond first because I just want to do something with the innkeep and buy some cards from him. Alright. Speak to this guy first. Anyway. Alright. I think there is a way that you can make it so that that guy survives. I normally do it, but I can't remember which order you have to do the quest in. But yeah, there is a way that Joran survives. I think maybe it's only if you do this contract after. I can't remember. We'll see. Anyway, if I remember, I'll do it that way. But see what this guy's got. Gwent-wise. Skytail deck's actually quite solid when you've got that ability. That lets you get an extra card. Although that would have been the only way that Skytail would have been as good as Nilfgaard Northern Realms is if the perk was that you get 11 cards instead of the actual leader ability, so that you could have a leader ability and still have 11 cards. That would be pretty good. Alright, so we're just going to see what this has got. They pointlessly double up on that one, which is pretty stupid. I've got 3 cards that I can replay straight away here, so may be able to win this one. Depends how many cards they use. If not, I'll just get them to use a load of cards and then I should be alright. Yeah, so they take that back. Still with it. Alright. So what's going to be more? If I play 2 of these, that'll be 12 each, 26. It'll actually be slightly more score just to play all of those. Oh dear, that's a bit rude. Anyway, just save those cards for now. That was exactly why I wanted to take Villain Tretameth in case they did something like that. And that's the thing about Relentless, even if you don't get a spy, you can normally find a good use for it. Like, they very stupidly, even knowing that I had Villain Tretameth, which they must have known because I took it from their deck, played that one on the first row. Imbeciles. Another easy win. I love this deck, it's so much fun. Right, what am I going to play here? Oh, I'll just bring that one back. And even getting no spies at all, easy win. Yeah, so this guy has cards for sale. If you do come to Skellige early, this is a great person to play. And great person to buy cards from. He's one of the first ones I'll come to because he has the Tala card and the Whispers card that I just got there. So they're fantastic cards for either deck. So yeah, Northern Realms or Monsters. If you're using either of those decks, then you definitely want to be there. Not going to pick up those contracts just yet. I do need to fast travel to Hindusfjall. I don't have to pick up the contracts, but I can get the notice board just in case. Okie dokie. Where am I going? Which one's Hindusfjall? That one. There's a place of power up here as well. I'll go to that later at some point. Get on with that one. Let's have a look. Alright, oh, is this the guy who gives a really high price just for killing a necker? It's very odd. It's like 700 something crowns. Yeah, massive amount of money for this one. Do you play Gwent? Gonna be a Gwent heavy episode. Do you have any cards to buy? I don't think he does. I don't think any of the armourers do actually, that I remember. Maybe the Crow's Perch guy does. He sells you a decoy card, definitely. The Crow's Perch guy. If you didn't buy it from the Innkeeper or Bram. Oh, that powerful Nilfgaard ability, I'll have to bear that in mind. Right. See what I got. Didn't get any decoys, which is a bit unfortunate. I'll probably get them from playing Mysterious Elf in the end though. So we'll see. Yep, I'll play in that. Oh wow, they've got their own Batier as well. Spy Wars. Oh well, easy pass for me. Let's take that victory, first of all. Now them having a Nilfgaard deck and him seeming to have a pretty good Nilfgaard deck himself, I was going to say he's probably going to be able to replay that as well. See what else they've got. So that's going to make it so that when I play this spy, it's going to make their melee row 10. So I can actually just get rid of it if I wanted to. And that's going to be brilliant because that's going to double those to 4. I can take all of them out at once. Fantastic. Now is that all my medics used? Decoys. Oh no, still got one there as well. Because I've used most of my cards, there's actually a good chance here that I get the Biting Frost when I replay this last spy. Because I've got so many of the cards out of my deck already. So we'll see. Oh no, didn't get it. Not really a big deal. Just making them use some more of their cards. I've got a massive advantage now. Still got villain Tretameth to... Oh no, I don't have Vil. Oh yeah, I can decoy it back so with that last decoy. So if needs be, I can decoy Vil as well. See what they've got left to play. Kinda wish I had got that Biting Frost card now. Just going to keep playing these because I have an enormous amount of score myself available there. So I'll probably be able to win either way. Let's see. So here I can wipe out an enormous amount of their score because I can take the 18 from there first. And then I can bring back Villain Tretameth myself. Take another 28 from them. And then I can bring back Dandelion as well. And that means that I can use this Commander's Horn on my ranged row instead. Then I can take back Villain Tretameth. Take off another 24 of their score. And there aren't even any left from my graveyard to play. And then just pile up on these ones as well. So we'd have killed it again. That's approaching about as high as you could get from that deck, so pretty immense. Destroyed. So we're just going to play these guys too. Greetings. What you got? Probably nothing, I don't think. Yeah. Might as well get rid of some of these junk swords if he'll take a few. Another Gwent game. That's going to be a fairly powerful deck. Ah, no spies, that sucks. What else can we get? Okay, so not the strongest deck. But then they go and ruin it all for themselves by playing Tala straight off like that. It's pretty much best case scenario for me, really. Okay, so now I can play this. I can get some good score that way as well. So, won that round. Even better, I can Relentless Tala before they even have a chance to play it. Which is awesome. And hopefully get one of my own spies now instead as well. Which we do. Unfortunately for them, I already took the best card that they could have played there. And they only have one more medic available in that deck. And because I got the emissary from there, I can now play this. Make them bleed out a load of their cards. And now I have 7 cards available to play in effect because I can take one of these back. Could actually just win this game outright if I wanted to. So, can I score 57 here? I would think so. Yes, I can. Don't even need to because I'll take that, so that'll knock them down to 48. win again. Over 100 again. Even when they have a relatively strong deck like that, you've just virtually no chance of losing. I don't want to take that just yet.
Greetings. Top a type. What do you bet?
Yeah, so some of these innkeeps probably do have cards, but of cards to buy usually, but I've bought them from Toussaint already. You can get a load of the monster cards from Toussaint. It's always fun. Okay, so 2 spies there. That's good because they'll play that back again and then I'll be able to decoy it and then play it again. Might get Villain Tretometh, which means that when I replay it on their side, or even better, get that. This is a ridiculously good setup for me now because I'll be able to decoy back the Stefan Skellen card when they play it back on my side, which they inevitably will do. Then after they've used all of this, they'll probably pass because they'll be at such a disadvantage for the cards and have such a large score advantage, and then I'll just play the Biting Frost afterwards. That's Torrential Rain. I've got a load of medics so I can play both of these quite comfortably. And that is why I always have one Biting Frost, and it's still useful outside of playing the monsters deck. They can play one of these back again, and then again I'll just decoy it. This is how you would cope with the Square Tail deck versus Nilfgaard like they are doing. You would normally use the medics to be able to replay decoys, which is good. But I still have such an enormous advantage of cards. I can just keep playing these back and then just slowly bleed them out of cards. They only have 3 medics and Yennefer if they've got it, which it seems quite unlikely they do. So they've only got 2 potential medics even left. Unless they've got a Biting Frost, they are in very, very severe trouble here. So I've only played 1 card there, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 medics left to play. So I can play another 2 cards here completely for free. Might as well make them use them all up, because I think unless they play a Biting Frost, which they never would do in this scenario, I'll be able to win very easily anyway. Ruh-roh. And now you die. So again, another huge score. Lots of Imperial Brigades. What are we going to finish with this time? 148? Oh yeah, we get to bring the 4th one back. I forgot about that. So yeah, I've been getting killed at virtually every round, so if I hadn't had the achievement already, I would have got it 3 times just in this one session. That's pretty incredible. Power of a full Nilfgaard deck, I tell you. Right, What have we got to do here? We've got missing persons, so we can go and speak to Yen. We've got the Morkvag contract, so we should speak to them first now, because it's the same thing. Where are you? Is it a secondary quest? Yeah, that's it. Right, so which end of the island is this down? Right, so we'll speak to the priestess first. Just go and get these other quests. Where's this one? The one that I just took. Yeah, this one. It's quite a cool little contract. I quite like this one. It's interesting.
Well, ask this Witcher. He'll tell you monsters. What's that?
All right. Okie dokie. Killing monsters, what we do. That's about the horse races, don't want to do that. That quest, the exclamation mark over that way is so annoying.
Not much left. Beast must have dragged the shredded body to the woods. Really did. Looks like blood.
Ruh-roh.
Necker warriors use this clay to mark their position in the pack. Creature leading the Neckers is essentially like blood. Red crags lead into the woods.
Uh-oh. Are we scared of Neckers though, really?
Good place for their nest.
Let's go for it. Tank up on potions yet again. Got the superior golden oriole active, so I don't care about being poisoned at all. Just give me health back. Which is why I popped them just before the battle instead of just after. I knew that bit was coming. Alright. So we'll get the Aard up first. Not only slows them down, but it lets me get up my haha Aard magic trap there as well, which helps. And then we've got superior blizzard active for all these things. And now it's piercing cold time. Oh, and they're all dead. So where's the actual Necker then? Who have we got? Ugly son of a gun.
Guess I got company.
I guess you do. I love that sword twirl that Geralt does. So we can do fire damage on this thing, which is like a tremendous amount of damage. You just make him go away like pretty much straight away, which is quite funny. And then just get to Aard sweeping the rest of these. I'm sure combat isn't supposed to be just like, you know, fun instead of, you know, difficult on deathmatch, but never mind. Let's kill this thing. Can we kill him straight away? No. Oh, we can still do a ton of damage to him, so. And then burn him as well. Set up Vigny, get the magic trap going. And you see that they can't even break my they can't even break the Quen shield while I'm stood in that because of the extra resistance you get from the 6 piece of Griffin gear. If any of them do survive, they just get plastered like this. Insta-killed! And then here comes Haguman back again. Get himself burned. It's ridiculous, this build, when it works like it's supposed to, like this. Absolutely incredible. And this is why I wanted to do a New Game Plus playthrough of Piercing Cold, because it is fun. And here goes these things. Don't even need to do any sword damage to him. I think that's the first time I've actually hit the boss. Just take it out like that. I didn't even have Superior Blizzard up for most of that either. It's crazy. The more... It is actually like the more neckers or enemies or whatever else they fight, the more fun this build is. Just fantastic. Right. Well, that's that dealt with. In short order, I might add. Right, so it's coming up on about the time that I need to wrap this one up, actually. That'll be alright. That'll leave me well for just carrying on with the rest of the Skellige quests here. Just go and meet Yennefer. And then that'll be that. So I'll just go and take the reward. And then that is where I think we will leave it for now. So if you've made it to the end of the episode, thank you so much for watching and supporting as always. If you could like, comment, subscribe and all that good happy stuff. Really great to see people enjoying this playthrough as much as I am. So thank you very much and all have a good day on the path.